And I'd ask you how life is now, but I hear.
Yeah, I am healing. My story is healing. Checking in, checking out. Spike Lee of recovery.
I want to welcome Amber to Inside Addiction. Amber, welcome.
Thank you.
So tell me, what's your story, Amber?
Well, my story is about strength. I started using when I was about 13 years old. The first thing I started using, I started smoking pot. My family growing up was small, but everything was great. My parents, were together, and they're still together today, 25 years. I had an older brother and a younger sister. Everything was great. My parents weren't using. Somehow I just wanted to escape from reality, I guess. I just never liked myself, never had very high self-esteem. So I started using drugs, and once I experienced the high, I just wanted more and more of it. So I kept using more drugs, and as I got older, one thing led to another. I started using cocaine at the age of 16, along with, psychedelics, hallucinogenics, all of that stuff. So I pretty much went to college after I graduated high school. I don't remember much of high school because I was completely out of it the whole time. I went to college for a year, but when I went to college, I didn't take it seriously. I was too far along into my addiction to really focus on anything else but the drugs. I ended up flunking out of college after a year, and I decided to come back home. After I came back home, I slowed down for a little bit. I got a job. I was still using, but not as heavily as I used to. I ended up meeting a guy who I ended up getting into a relationship with, and he introduced me to heroin and crack cocaine. And after that, it was pretty much off to the races. I pretty much just went in, feet first, and didn't look back. The relationship actually was pretty bad. It was physically abusive and emotionally abusive to me. The drugs pretty much at that point helped me to escape from that even more. The drugs became like my only friend, and I was the one pretty much selling the drugs to maintain the habit. The habit got up to about 15 bags a day, which is quite a lot. I was getting arrested many times. I was actually getting arrested. I started getting arrested as soon as I started using, I think, harder drugs. It was just the lifestyle got increasingly harder to maintain, and I was slipping further and further away. So I continued to sell it and use it, and by the age of 20, I ended up catching a felony charge, my first one, and they sent me to jail, and I had to detox in jail from 15 bags a day.
Wow.
Which was the worst experience of my life, I have to say, one of them. And, on nothing, just put me in a cell, and there I was. And I had no one to call. I tried calling my mom, and she pretty much told me that she couldn't do anything, And later on, I talked to her, and she had said that she wanted so bad to help me, but she was afraid that if she had gotten me out of jail, I would have died. They sent me to a rehab, and I went to RCW in Middletown, New York, and I was there and completed that. It was 21 days. I got out, and I was back in CCP, and they were great people. I really felt, I really started feeling like I belonged to something, like I felt I could relate to people and people cared about me. They then sent me to a sober halfway house, and that helped me get structure into my life. It was really hard learning how to interact with people when I was sober. I didn't know how to do that at first. I struggled with that, and my relationship with my parents actually came back into the picture. My family was very proud of me, and they are still very proud of me. I sad to say, I did not make I ended up not completing that sober halfway house. Not because I used, but I was struggling with the structure. I was late a lot. I couldn't handle the scheduling of everything. So
But you didn't use.
no, I did not use. I wanted to. I was there for 4 months, and I was released from there. Did not complete, and I wanted to use really bad because I figured, I'm a failure. And my dad actually was really upset with me. It was really hard because after seeing me get sober for some time and then not make it through that program, he pretty much gave up on me. And he said, you know what, you're a failure, you're not going to make it. And I made it. So
And
I
you
said,
did.
yeah, I made it. I said, you know what, I wanted to do it for me, but I also wanted to, I wanted to prove him wrong. I wanted to show him that I could do it. And so I did it. And I'm sorry. So they were going to put me back in jail, and I begged them to let me, I begged them to give me a second try. And some people, were telling me, maybe you should just do your time. Maybe you should just, maybe you can't do it, and I said, no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And it was the strength that I had that carried me through pretty much. I don't think, I know that some people didn't believe in me and probably didn't think I was, probably didn't think I had the strength, and I didn't know I had the strength that I have. So I begged them to let me give me a second chance, and they did. And I was accepted into Family Woodstock sober housing, which, is helping me along. I'm in it right now. I'm also completing my outpatient rehab group this week. Actually, tomorrow is my last day.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's been a long road. I started that when I got out of jail. When they put me, after I got out of the rehab, they put me into my outpatient group, which I've been in for over a year now. So I've seen a lot of people come and go. And that's been a hard thing, too, to watch. A lot of people I've gotten close with along the way, fall back. But there's still a lot of people I started out with that I have, in my sober support now, and I have great sober friends. I have my mother who supports me to the fullest, and she's very proud of me and my family. My sister is proud of me. Everyone, it's been great, and it's, you don't see many young people. I don't see many young people in recovery, and I know it's hard because it's just very hard right now. But it's thanks to these programs, that gave me a chance, because if there was no program like that, I don't know where I'd be today.
Again, I want to thank the Commissioner for joining us today, and of course Amber and Monroe for sharing their story, which can be someone else's hope. Until next time, remember, take it one day at a time, and denial only works for a while.